All right. Good morning, everybody. What's up? Welcome to the party. Yes, we are working for the weekend. Today is Friday, November 14th, 2025. This is episode 1006 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, if you're looking to stay current on the top cyber news stories of the day while engaging with an inclusive, supportive community that celebrates wins and helps you out in hard times, if you're looking to go beyond the headlines and get additional insights and value so you can destroy job interviews or just be an all-star at work, well, you've come to the right place, because that's what we do every single freaking day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. This is the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. You're locked in. Let's go. All right, good morning. Yes, we are off and running. Good morning to DJ Bisek in chat, putting in the grind. I see lots of friends, Dennis Keith, Marcus Kyler, FedEx, who I saw with Jen Easterly. Nice job, FedEx. Guys, we got a great show for you. If this is your first episode, welcome to the party. Let me orientate you. Bathrooms are over there. Lunch is served at noon. And every episode's worth half a CPE. So do me a favor. If today is your first episode, get comfortable. And when you are, get your thumbs ready or get your keyboard going and type in hashtag first timer into chat. Hashtag first timer into chat. We love recognizing and welcoming our first timers because it's virtual. I can't see you walk into the room, but trust me, there's plenty of seats for everyone, including you. You are welcome here, I promise you. Every single episode, as I mentioned, we go through the top cyber news stories of the day. I want you all to know I don't research or prep. I literally don't know the stories that are coming.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Come on now, bruh. I'm up here. I'm shucking and jiving. I'm doing the things. I'm drinking coffee. I'm working. Come on, bro. I can't be, pre-staging these things. So we'll see what happens, but definitely engage. My goal for the show, as always, is to deliver value in excess to you. So yes, we'll go through the top cyber stories. You're going to find out what's going on in the world. However, I've got 20 plus years of experience. The collective Simply Cyber community has about 6,000 years of experience. So no matter what the story, we're going to go beyond the headlines and give you insights and value that you would only get from working in the industry. Level up. Dude, like I said, I've been here 20 plus years. There's still things I'm learning every day. You're never going to learn it all, but it takes a community. It takes a village. It takes shared experience in order to move fast and level up like an absolute boss. Now, every episode, half a CPE, as I mentioned. So if you have those cybersecurity certifications and you need to maintain them, do me a favor, say what's up in chat so your name appears here, like Dream Logic or Reynard, right? Or Steve Young. What's up, Steve Young? Steve Young, I tried some of those Lake Superior beers last night during the Patriots game. Mwah! Very delicious. Thank you for that gift. Say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot, and the title of the show has the date and the unique individual episode number, which makes it a nice piece of evidence. This is an instructor-led webinar for, if you want to strip it down and make it sound boring and sucky. But, we have some fun with it. Only a half a CPE, even though the show's an hour, because we do some fun stuff, right? You can't get CPEs for joking around, which we're going to be doing at about 8:30 a.m. with James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, giving it these rib ticklers alongside other people in chat. I think Carrie likes to drop dad jokes in Roswell, UK, a couple others. So get your dad jokes ready. James McQuiggan's going to lead the charge. Let's say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring the show to you, starting with Anti-Siphon Training. Now, really quickly, listen, antisyphontraining.com, go to it, check it out. They have great training. There's a constant flow of education coming. They have a calendar of events, which is where I like to go to look to see what they have going on. Next Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m., they have this kind of year in review deep dive on 2025. But what I want to tell you is not that, like, this is cool, but yesterday, John Strand did a webinar on basically China, as China is an advanced persistent threat actor, and where China came from, where China's going, John has a political science degree. He spent time, over there. Like, it was a frigging awesome session. And I actually had to leave halfway through it. And it's absolutely in my queue to watch the rest of it today. Justin Gold was there. Dan Reardon was there. A couple other people were there. If you were at John Strand's China Talk yesterday, sound off and chat. This is anti-training.com. I'm telling you, you will not want to miss that talk. It was phenomenal. So go to anti-training.com. Check it out. Thanks to them for sponsoring the show, as always. I do want to say, holla to Flare Academy. Guys, you want to talk about backing the value truck up and getting some of that? Go to simplycyber.io/flare. simplycyber.io/flare. I'll go ahead and drop a link in chat. Hold on. Yeah, we do have a John Strand emote. Guys, listen. Wade Wells will tell you, it's great to do cybersecurity and stuff like that. But seeing activity logs, AD, entry ID, which is Azure AD, those type of things, you can, if you understand how the underlying technology works and how computers and users and devices and resources are allocated, group policy, permissions, all these things, then when you see bad in the logs as a SOC analyst, or if you're writing detections, if you understand how the underlying tech works, you are way more effective as a practitioner because you know what good looks like. Therefore, you know what bad looks like. Do not take shortcuts. Do the work. Check out this Flare Academy session. It's 2 hours. It's free. November 24th, 11 to 1 p.m. You're going to be going through Active Directory and Azure Active Directory, which is now called Entra ID, and learning about it. I'm telling you, this is definitely a value add session for everyone. Get up on that. simplycyber.io/flare. Tell them Jerry sent you. Hold on. No, tell him Jerry Guy sent you, bro. Come on. Everyone's working for the weekend. Jerry Guy sent you, not Jerry. All right, Jerry Guy. Put you back in the box. All right, definitely shout out to them. Let's quickly hear from ThreatLocker, who I definitely appreciate ThreatLocker and what they're doing. I think their product's super solid. Let's hear from them, and then we're going to sit back, relax, and let the cool sounds wash over us. What? In an awesome wave. Thanks. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, my friends, it's that time of the day. Let's go. Let's get ready to cook. As my 10-year-old says, let this man cook. Let's crack on, hey? Do me a favor, sit back, relax, adjust that lumbar support, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome wave. I'll see you at the mid-roll. Headlines, please. Thank you.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines
What's up,
for
AA Witherspoon?
Friday, November 14th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice.
What's up, Jenny Housley?
2 key cyber laws are back as President signs bill to end shutdown. On Wednesday, the President signed a government funding bill that ended the record 43-day government shutdown and which temporarily revives 2 major cybersecurity laws that lapsed at the end of September, being the 2015 Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Act and the State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program through January 30th. Congress must now find a more permanent fix before another funding deadline. Microsoft's screen.
All right, I mean, here's the thing. Because we get up every day and we put the work in every day, this is, okay, yeah. I'm curious what the 2 cyber laws are. One, he funded like the Information Sharing Act. Okay, so these two laws are back. They're not new. One is the funding of the Information Security Act, which again we already knew because we covered this on Monday. Basically, they're going to go through the end of January or the end of February, where at some point they'll have to figure out a new way to fund it. Guys, this thing's been around since 2015. They've renamed it a few times. The amount of telemetry that is shared between public and private sector, this isn't going anywhere. I mean, yes, you might have to like rearrange the deck chairs or the stools in the kitchen to get a different look and feel, but this isn't going anywhere. This is like a staple of the way that we do intelligence. And intelligence is one of the ways that we as the United States kind of exert national power across the globe. Okay, so not going anywhere. What's the second law here? They kind of didn't mention that in the news story here. State and local cybersecurity grant program, which was extended to January 30th. Okay, what is this? I think I know what this is, and I think I've dunked on it repeatedly here. Hold on. Like they just didn't even bother in the story. Let's look at this one really quickly. So this is the program, $91 million in grant funding for fiscal year 2025. Okay, you have my attention. That is not peanuts, dude. Of course, my immediate thought, I'm such a cynical prick. My immediate thought is, well, there's 50 states. That's $2 million a state. $2 million is not bad. I mean, you can get like a pretty decent setup for a mid-sized business for $2 million a year. But California and Hawaii have two wildly different needs, right? Hold on. What does this do? Helps eligible entities address cyber risks and threats that are owned and operated by state and local tribal governments. Okay, so here's the deal with this. All right, so this is fine. I'm going to try to be optimistic about this one, okay? This federal grant money that's coming out, essentially this is money that states can apply for in order to get budget to spend on cybersecurity. So it's basically like money that's earmarked and only to be spent on cyber. Guys, private sector businesses, MDRs, your CrowdStrikes, your Sentinel ones, like your Microsoft, dude, they're like this. If I had to make a hot take, Jerry's consulting business isn't getting a single taste of this money. This is, scooped up by, Fortune 100. It's probably the money's already allocated. You have to be on state contract anyways before you can even get access to this money for a state to be able to do business with you. I love it. Right. Let's try to enable businesses. I tell you, I mean, state and local government, I tell you all the time that they get popped left, right, and center. It's every single day. There's another city or municipality that got compromised by a ransomware threat actor, but you can't just stroke a check and make cyber risk go down. Okay. That's not how it works. You have to put in work. So I love this, but I almost see why they didn't put it in the story. Cause it's like, okay, again, I'll take the $2 million. Like if my choice is to have $2 million extra dollars or not for my cyber program, I'll take the $2 million. I mean, at a minimum, that can buy some FTEs, that can buy some tech, that can bolster existing programs. Would love to talk to, actually, I have a friend I have a relationship with the state of South Carolina CISO. He probably couldn't talk about it on the record, but like, I'd be curious how this translates into actual action in real life. Of course, my Stream Deck's not working today. Nice job, Stream Deck.
Capture prevention for Teams users is finally rolling out. Microsoft has a new Teams feature for premium customers that will automatically block screenshots and recordings during meetings. This had first been announced in May 2025. Named Prevent Screen Capture, it restricts access to visual meeting content. On Windows desktop devices, screenshots will show a black rectangle around the meeting window. On platforms that don't support it, meeting attendees will join in audio-only mode. This feature is disabled by default and must be manually enabled by organizers for each meeting via meeting options.
Okay.
FBI.
All right. Hey, a couple of things. Like I said before, guys, I appreciate this community and all the different experiences that come with it. I see people talking about, this budget money and stuff like that. Thank you for sharing your perspective. So this is a privacy feature, basically. We do remote work all the time now. Microsoft Teams, which is like not my favorite collaboration tool, is rolling out a feature, as I think Phil Stafford pointed out. It's for premium customers only. Premium, the people who sit in 3B. I'm looking at you, James McQuiggan, at 35,000 feet. It's a configurable control that prevents screen capture. Okay. Let's see. On Windows desktop, screenshot displays a black rectangle around the meeting window. All right, so here's the deal. Maybe you're sharing like sensitive information in a meeting. Maybe you're doing whatever. This feature prevents someone from basically hitting Windows key S or print screen and getting a screenshot of it. Just as a spoiler, like Signal, the messaging app, when you go to take a screenshot, the Signal app disappears from your display, right? So like this feature has been around for a while. And by the way, the Signal app, it's by default. I don't even know if you can disable it. I'm not sure of what instances anyone was weaponizing this. At the end of the day, guy, here's my thing, like, sure, this is a cool feature and, turn it on or whatever. But like, if I'm committing espionage, if I'm a threat actor, I mean, I'm literally just going to take my phone out and take a picture of the screen. Oh, I just circumvented that control. Ha, ha, ha. Let me twist my mustache.
I, Flaming Donkey, have circumvented screen capture prevention.
I mean, that took like 5 seconds. Okay. So like, it's inconvenient that I do have to send that picture to myself now, but like, is what it is. Great. If anything, I think that here's what I predict will happen. Yeah. And DJ BSEC saying the same thing in chat about the pictures. Here's what I predict with this particular technology. Okay. People like IT people, probably junior people, if I'm being critical, are going to turn this on when they see it. They're going to be like, oh, this is a feature that's cool. People want this, without talking to the business. And then they're going to roll it out. And then the business is going to try to take screenshots of their screen for good reasons. And it's going to stop them from doing it. And they're going to get pissy. And then they're going to call help desk and be like, why is it doing this? Turn it off. And then they'll roll it back. Like, this is, honestly, guys, I got to tell you, this doesn't come up very often, but this is a perfect example of a security control that is like solving a problem that no one was complaining about. Again, I'm not saying that there isn't a good use case for preventing screen captures, but rolling out this control just because it's available isn't a good idea. What you should do is understand if this helps actually reduce cyber risk for your business. Is this something the business wants? Yes, it's cool to just roll it out on Friday and go get early beers because you live in San Diego. Dude, I was in San Diego in like 2004, and I remember I went to lunch at like 11 a.m. and it was happy hour. And I was like, Jesus, San Diego, you roll hard, huh? So anyways, just going a little beyond the headlines. Yes, you can put in the screen capture, but my advice would be verify that the business wants it and that it actually helps your cyber program.
I calls Akira top 5 ransomware variant out of 130 targeting US businesses. Akira, a major ransomware group active since March 2023,
I knew you were going to
uses
say that.
double extortion attacks that steal and encrypt data to pressure victims. U.S. cyber authorities say the group has earned more than $244 million and mainly targets small and medium-sized businesses across manufacturing, education, IT, healthcare, finance, and agriculture. Akira is linked to several other threat groups and may have ties to the former Conti gang. The FBI ranks Akira amongst its top 5 most consequential ransomware variants and notes that ransomware overall remains its leading cybercrime threat, with more than 130 active variants attacking U.S. organizations.
Okay, so Akira ransomware has been around for a while, and honestly, I mean, I get why they're doing this. It is for awareness. If I was Akira or ransomware threat actors, I would print this out, high glossy paper, frame it, and stick it on the wall as like a badge of honor. Like, look at us, we're top 5. Woo! Dude, they've made $250 million since inception. That's mind-blowing to me. What I appreciate here is, now that they've elevated to a higher, threat, GRC Mafia people, update your threat model. And I should get this written on a shirt, for crying out loud, the amount of times I say it. Here's the deal. If your cyber program sucks, you should not be building a cyber program that defends from Akira ransomware explicitly. If your cyber program is, when I say sucks, the appropriate way to say it inside the business is, if the maturity level of your cybersecurity program is not very mature, then you should be putting in foundational cyber security controls, things that are best practices, MFA, end user awareness training, EDR, some type of like SIM or outsourced MDR service, backups. Like, do the fundamentals. Now let's push it forward. Let's say you're doing tabletop exercises and you have some good defenses against ransomware. Okay, now you can look at updating your threat models. Basically, the more mature you get, the more granular your threat modeling should be. So who does Akira typically attack, right? That would be the next question. Like, is my business, is my industry, I work in manufacturing, I work in transportation, I work in retail. Like, is this something that is specifically being targeted by me? Akira is known to exploit Cisco firewalls, VPNs, Windows, ESXi's chassis, Veeam backups, Sonic firewalls. All right, so the answer is Akira doesn't give a damn about what industry you're in. They care what your tech stack looks like, and they will slap you in the mouth harder than the tortilla challenge, okay? They use stolen creds, vulnerabilities, brute force. So, again, they're literally trying everything, which is probably why they're so successful. All right. Unfortunately, they're effective. They're all over the MITRE ATT&CK framework because, they're more about opportunity than they are about specific TTPs. The nice thing is CISA has released indicators of compromise, so you can go threat hunting in your environment. Wade Wells can definitely help you understand how to go threat hunting. Of course, CISA puts this nice summary together and all this other stuff, but in reality, I don't care. It's like, give me the IOCs. Can I ingest it directly into my SIM or, EDR? Yeah, so here are the sticks, right? And here you go. You can ingest these things into your tooling and basically go hunting in your environment. Here's the reality, though. There's more value when it comes to a threat actor like this. And this is, me trying to go beyond the headlines and give you additional value. With a threat actor like Akira, if you're going threat hunting in your environment, like, they'll let you know that they're there. They don't futz around in the environment, okay? Akira, they smash, they get in, they rip your data out, they extort you. They're not China. They're not like establishing long-term persistence and hanging out. All right. They would be a little bit, but like, if I'm just thinking the window of time between compromise and them executing their full playbook of data exfil is not a big window. So for me, it's more about setting detections that tip you off that they're attempting to get in the environment. The problem is that they use existing credentials through, like, identity access brokers or brute force attempts those things are really difficult to detect unless you have some type of conditional access policies. Like DJ BSEC does not log in from Cambodia, but so yeah, and you can see here that they use MITRE ATT&CK to help communicate and convey this one. They've got it broken out across the MITRE ATT&CK, right? So the initial access is here. This is no joke, guys. I'll tell you one other thing about this. Number one, if you're a practitioner, I would definitely look at this. This is a nice, complete bundle of both threat intelligence reporting as well as actionable telemetry to do something with in your environment. If you are an aspiring practitioner or you're looking to switch jobs, right? Like even if you are an active SOC analyst and you're looking to switch jobs, this is a great, nice little tightly packaged bundle. Anybody that interviews you knows who Akira ransomware is. Okay. Like if they don't, like any hiring manager, right? HR people, recruiters, they're not going to know Akira, but like someone who works in cyber that's interviewing you, they're going to know who Akira is. If they don't, you may want to question whether you even want to work there. Once you, if you study this and get briefed on this example right here, this is like a 40 millimeter round. And I was never in the military, so let me know, is 40 millimeter round a big round? I don't even know. I feel like that's like isn't 50 caliber a 50 millimeter? Isn't the sniper rifle the 50 cal, like the big one? I don't know. Someone in chat, give me a big caliber munition. Let me know. I got to play more Battlefield 6. This is a huge piece of knowledge that you can wrap into several places in a job interview casually, from MITRE ATT&CK to threat hunting to detection engineering to discovery to sticks and ingestion. 105 millimeter. Thank you very much, DJ BSEC. All right. Ooh, a grenade launcher. That's fun. All right. Anyways, don't sleep on this, guys. And again, just really quickly, like, yeah, it's a story. It's an awareness thing. Top 5, but this is why I'm saying this is how you can utilize this type of information to make you a better practitioner or a candidate. All right.
Fortinet FortiWeb flaw with public POC exploited to create admin users. The Fortinet FortiWeb path traversal vulnerability is being actively exploited to create new administrative users on exposed devices without requiring authentication. Yep. The issue is fixed in FortiWeb 8.0.2, and admins are urged to update as soon as possible and to check for signs of unauthorized access. The threat intelligence company Diffused spotted the exploitation on October the 6th, and since then attacks have increased globally. Threat actors are sending HTTP post requests to a specific endpoint on this path containing payloads that create local admin level accounts on the targeted device.
All right, hold on. I wasn't listening because I was waiting. We got a super chat in chat. Allow myself to introduce myself. Wizzy Waza with the 5 pound super chat. It's a heavy one. It's a 5 pounder. Thank you, first of all, for the super chat. That's kind of you. He says, Jerry, any top tips for running an effective first-time business continuity disaster recovery tabletop for a ransomware attack? He's got the SOC and IT services teams there. Much appreciated. Yeah, so everybody in chat, drop your tips as well for Wizzy Waza. But what I would say is a couple things. One, and this is in order to be effective, right? Like, yes, the ransomware attack, hey, we've got an attack coming, like whatever, like, there's user reports having all their files screwed up and a note on their desktop. Like programmatically to be effective, here's what I would say. First, you got the prep part of it, right? So put your scenario together and communicate out to the people that are going to be in that meeting exactly what they should be expecting and exactly what the goals are, the objectives, okay? A lot of times people want to do tabletop exercises where they're like super quiet about what the scenario is and we're just going to spring it on them. Don't do that. Like, people like to know what the hell they're walking into. So definitely make them aware of that, what the objectives are. I personally wouldn't go longer than like maybe 2 hours. Okay. 4 hours if you really want to get after it, but I wouldn't go longer than 2. I would definitely, if it were me, I would do it at like 10 a.m., right? 10 a.m. just because people get into work, they, check their emails, do their crap, get their coffee, but they're still engaged mentally in the workday and their like high brain functions are working. So 10 to noon, bring some pastries or maybe serve them lunch, right? If you have budget for that. Okay. So you're going to get the whole reason for this setup is you're making the people in the room feel comfortable. You're making them feel informed. You're making them feel engaged. Second thing, definitely let them know that the point of this exercise is to discover gaps in process, to discover how to educate everyone on expectations and communication. Make it clear that this is not to figure out who's doesn't know how to do their job or anything like that. Third thing, and this is another critical one, there's going to be one person, probably an older guy with gray hair. Okay. And I'm being ageist and sexist here. There's going to be one guy there who knows how to do everything. Okay. Let that dude talk a little bit and then shut him down, right? Shut it down. Like be like John Taffer in Bar Rescue and shut it down. All right. That guy, yeah, sure. You know where all the bodies are buried, bro. Cool story. What happens when you're on vacation? What happens when you're retired? What happens when you're not here? What are we going to do? Like this whole operation's dependent on your availability? Get out of here with that noise. So tell that guy in the most polite way possible to shut up and then ask the junior people. So when they say ransomware attack, they're going to be like, oh, we're just going to restore from backups. Oh, thanks, Jerry. Thanks for the free lunch. Be like, all right, cool. Restore from backups. Great story. Kevin, stop talking. John, you've been here a year and a half. We're going to restore from backups. Explain to me how that happens. Well, we just go in and we hit restore backups. No. Yeah, that's perfect. What system are you logging into? Well, we use Veeam for backups. All right, cool. Do you have credentials to log into Veeam? No. Have you ever logged into Veeam? No. Do you know like where to go in Veeam? No. Okay, cool. Like this is an opportunity. Like, is there documentation? Is there an SOP? Is there anything? No. Okay. And then the final thing I'll share with you, okay? And then I'll get back to the news here, is you want to introduce injections, okay? So let's say you start to restore from backups and then say, hey, listen, 2 more users just reported their machines are compromised, right? Like introduce kind of a variation, or say, hey, the threat actor like just called my cell phone or whatever. Like usually because it's just the IT and the SOC, you're not going to want to introduce kind of like business decisions. Like, do we pay the ransom? A news reporter's on the phone. Do we talk to them? What do we say? Make it all technical, but you know what I mean? Like also ask them, or you could even say, hey, listen, the threat actor is saying that they're going to post our data. Is there a way for us to see whether data was actually exfiltrated? What would we do? Don't give them kind of like scenarios and then ask them to work through what they think they would do or how they would do it. Okay. Thank you for the question and the chat. Thank you for enabling me to answer this question. And I hope it brought value to other people. Okay. Yeah. BSEC said, when you start the tabletop, tell the most senior person in the room, congratulations, you're on vacation. All right, let's keep going. Wait. What is this story here? All right, so Fortinet, someone call Real Bilbo right now and let him know that Fortinet's in the news again. All right, POC exploited. POC is a proof of concept. A proof of concept is basically a workable exploit that doesn't actually detonate malware. It's a workable exploit that pops calculator or something. The thing is, with a POC, all you got to do is replace calc.exe with malware.exe and you're off and running. So POCs are very effective. And this one creates admin users. Last time I checked, admin users is not something you want threat actors to create. Let me check with the judges. Judges, yes, I'm getting 3 nods from the judges off camera. We don't want threat actors to create admin users, okay? If you're running FortiWeb, which is probably internet facing based on the name alone. You got to patch it. You got to patch it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You got to patch it. Okay.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Vanta.
Ugh.
What's your 2 a.m. security worry? Is it, do I have the right controls in place? Or are my vendors
What's
secure?
up, Stratford Academy in Macon,
really
Georgia?
one,
Also, what's up, MUSC? I know
MUSC
MUSC watches on Fridays.
Enter Vanta. Vanta automates manual work so you can stop sweating over spreadsheets, chasing audit evidence, and filling out endless questionnaires. Their trust management platform continuously monitors your systems, centralizes your data, and simplifies your security at scale. Vanta also fits right into your workflows, using AI to streamline evidence collection, flag risks, and keep your program audit ready all the time. With Vanta, you get everything you need to move faster, scale confidently, and get back to sleep. Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That is VANTA.com/headlines.
All right, really quick. I see a couple things in chat that I want to address really quickly. XX Belco XX, as one of the old guys, and hey, really quickly, I want you to know that I identify as an old guy. Like I keep my beard kind of trimmed, but if you see some of that shimmering silver, that's not added in post-production. That's my, old ass face. Oh, sorry for swearing. He says, I can tell you we're not all like that. Yeah. So I'm not saying all, again, I was just being kind of specific there based on my experience. It could be it could be, usually it's the age is only there because of the experience and the amount of time they spent in that business in IT, right? So the person who's been there 10, 15, 20 years, they're typically older because they've aged that long. And typically they know every single nuance of their IT infrastructure and how to do all the things and all the accounts and the, shadow IT and all that stuff. And they know when you say, oh, there's been a compromise, they know exactly what to do. The problem is that no one else does, because every single time that person just handles it. And that's a major risk. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about here. But you said don't judge before you know. So I wanted to address it myself. Okay. So it definitely can expand behind that. Secondly, Kathy Chambers, if you want to DM me or one of the mods, I'm not sure. She said morning, DM me on LinkedIn if you need a link to my new Discord. I don't know. Kathy, are you starting a Kathy Chambers Media Discord, or I'm not sure. Let me know and we can help you get what you need. All right, let's do mid-roll. Shall we? I've been working with this warm chocolate here. All right, guys. Hey, holla, holla, holla. Thank you all for being here. I hope you're having a great show. I certainly am. I'm loving it. It is a Friday. Appreciate everyone being here. And I appreciate all y'all sharing your thoughts and perspectives in a very respectful, deliberately constructive way versus like flaming people. I love it. I want to say shout out to the stream sponsors, ThreatLocker, Flare, Anti-Siphon, and Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions, incident response company, but they also provide education opportunities for free. If you go to webinars.barricadecyber.com, you will see that they are putting on a bi-weekly Fortify 365 webinar series, which teaches people how to get down and dirty with Microsoft 365, specifically around security configurations. And on November 19th at 1 p.m. for free, you can register and learn about configuring SharePoint and OneDrive securely. Guys, this is so worth it. OneDrive, every person in your organization gets a OneDrive account. They can stick all sorts of files and crap in there. If you don't have it configured for like disabling access after a period of time, having guest access get shut down, knowing when data is being exfilled, knowing when OneDrive syncing is happening with a laptop to an account that's unmanaged, like these things are important. 1 hour. Eric's going to go hard into the paint on this. Go to webinars.barricadecyber.com to get that insight. Now, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Wednesdays, I'm sorry, I'm multitasking right now. Fridays is James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Joke of the week. Hold on one second. People are, I see what's going on. So check it out. Kathy Chambers Media has a Discord server. Kathy's getting into it. I'm a big fan of Kathy Chambers. I'm such a big fan of Kathy Chambers that I've hired her to work with Simply Cyber, not at Simply Cyber. The difference is she's her own entity, and that's that. But check this out. You want to get in on this? Kathy Chambers, Discord. Go check it out. It's pinned in chat. Now, let's get some jokes going, guys. Do me a favor. Lift up your shirt and expose your ribs, because James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet is about to tickle them. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from London, England. James is in the UK, Roswell, UK. Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? Guys, Super Zoomy, did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? He just wanted a bit more space. Which days are the strongest, guys? Do you know which days are the strongest? This is a very hotly contested argument. The days that are the strongest are the Saturday and Sunday, because the rest are weekdays. Oh, throwing shade at Monday through Friday. Okay, hold on one second. Did you know that the Air Force is designing an invisible airplane? Wonder Woman inspired invisible airplane for the Air Force. It sounds interesting, but honestly, James can't see it taking off. Oh! I feel like James really ended strong on that one. Invisible airplane in development with the Air Force. However, he doesn't really see it taking off. LOL. Okay, so really quickly, thank you, James McQuiggan, and thank you all for being here. Really quickly, where is it? Oh my God, where is it? Kimberly, I don't think Eric Taylor's here right now, but this is a user says, I tried to register for the 365 course. It was prompted to pay $500. I thought it was free. It is free. I don't know why Barricade Cyber has a paywall in front of this one. That sounds like a misconfiguration, not a feature. How do I even... Hold on one second. Let's look at this together, shall we? Where's the registration button? I don't even know where the registration button is. There we go. Let me look at this. I'm clicking register. Well, here, you guys can watch me sign in. Oh, I got to unlock my vault. We'll take care of it at Jawjacking, okay? This is not a $500. This is not $500, okay? So I don't know if you're going to the wrong thing or what. Yeah, Kimberly's confirming there's no paywall. So you're either going to the wrong place or something else. All right, let's keep cooking. Let's finish strong, y'all. We got panel Jawjacking at the top of the hour.
Checkout.com refuses to pay Shiny Hunter's ransom, donates the cash to research instead.
Woo! Take that.
The payment services provider, Checkout.com, having recently been attacked by the Shiny Hunters ransomware group, has stated publicly that not only has it refused to pay the ransom, it has instead donated the demanded amount to Carnegie Mellon University and the University of Oxford Cybersecurity Center to fund cybercrime research. In addition, the company's chief technology officer, Mariano Albera, says that his company, quote, takes full responsibility for the security incident and apologized for the circumstances that allowed the breach to happen, end quote. The company's investigation showed that the criminals had broken into a, quote, legacy third-party cloud file storage system, end quote, that wasn't properly decommissioned and was used in 2020 and prior years.
All right. So, I mean, this is cute, I guess. So third-party risk, legacy system should have been deprecated. I 100% agree that this CTO, IT infrastructure applications, these typically fall under the CIO, depending on business configuration or structure. The CTO can be responsible for this one. A lot of tech forward companies, and this is like an online website, checkout.com. A lot of tech companies will have a CTO instead of a CIO, but it doesn't matter. They're kind of responsible for the same thing. What you should think of is it's pretty modular, okay? A CIO, a CTO, they're typically responsible for infrastructure, applications, security, and data. Those are the four kind of swim lanes that fall under a CTO, CIO. If you're a tech company, you might have the CTO over all that, and the CIO is over just infrastructure. And then you have a chief application officer, a chief information security officer, and a chief data officer. It depends on how much money you're getting from Silicon Valley to fund your unicorn idea. But basically, that's the deal. Now, the CTO has the responsibility here, and they got hit with a threat actor, a ransomware attack, who extorted their data and then tried to exfiltrated their data and tried to get them pay. Here's the problem. They definitely owned this one. This was definitely a problem that they could have resolved. A legacy database from 2020 that was no longer being used, they did not decommission it. So, yeah. Here's the thing. No matter what, this is real talk for people who want to work in GRC, okay? You cannot get rid of all risk, period, full stop. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You cannot eliminate all risk. Our entire job, the reason that we get paid to do GRC work is because we are empowered and basically asked to decide what risks to take and what risks we need to, put money or people or technology into to reduce the risk to an acceptable level. Can't get rid of it all. This particular instance right here was accepted risk that absolutely should not have been accepted. This is why the CTO falls on their sword. There's no justifiable explanation why you would have a legacy system that is still active that had no business need. I want to point out, in full disclosure, there are reasons to have legacy systems still maintain their data and have access. For example, when I was in healthcare, we switched from one EDR or electronic health record system, like the official health record that is used for patient care. It's used for billing. It's used for all these things. We moved from one system to the next. That old system was deprecated and no longer needed to be used, but we gave people read-only access for 7 years because you needed to be able to see the history of the person, and there's like legal reasons to maintain it and stuff like that. After 7 years, though, then it could have been decommissioned. So in this instance, like, it could have been one of those systems. However, you have to put controls in place. The legacy system is still a bunch of risk. You can put controls in place like read-only access, put it behind in a network segment that only certain people can get to, require multi-factor authentication. Whoa, there's an idea. Okay, so yeah, this guy owned it. And then the fact that he took the ransom and donated it, I mean, that's cute. I got to tell you, honestly, as a guy who owns a business, if we got hit with ransomware and we're actively digging out from it, and I don't know how much the ransom was. Do they have the amount in here? They don't have the amount of what the ransom was, but let's just say the ransom was $100,000, okay? Let's say the ransom was $100,000. If my CTO comes at me and he's like, "Hey, listen, Jerry, we got hit with ransomware. We're gonna not pay the ransom. and we've got a plan to like manage the fallout. Again, this is a legacy system, so chances are business operations were not impacted. This was not a critical system, a critical application, critical data. This is just like basically, this is the equivalent of like getting a blister on the back of your foot when you're running. You can still walk around. It's a problem you got to deal with, and you probably shouldn't keep running because it's going to hurt, but it's not like your leg just got cut off. You're right. You're still able to run. Okay, everything's fine. Thank you, CTO. And then they're like, we're going to donate 100 grand to Carnegie Mellon. Why? 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 How about we take 100 grand and we hire a GRC engineer to come work here? There's a friggin' idea. Why don't we take that 100 grand and reduce risk for our organization? Why are you donating it, my friend? I get it. It's great to do philanthropy. What are you doing right now? You just had a major issue. You just had a major incident. You just had a super big problem. Why are you donating money? Put it towards fixing this problem, brosif. I don't get that. Like being a cynical prick, the only thing I can think of right now is that this company is going to wrap that donation in some type of tax mitigation strategy. But like, get what are we doing here? Like, cute story, bro.
Akira ransomware Linux encryptor targeting Nutanix VMs. In further Akira news, a joint advisory from CISA, the FBI, the Department of Defense Cybercrime Center, and the Department of Health and Human Services is warning that the Akira ransomware operation has been spotted encrypting Nutanix AHV virtual machines in attacks. These attacks started in June and continue up to the present. This means the group has expanded beyond VMware ESXi and Hyper-V by leveraging a CVE-numbered vulnerability. Nutanix's AHV platform is a Linux-based virtualization solution that runs and manages virtual machines on Nutanix's infrastructure. Operation.
All right, I mean, whatever. Akira getting a double shot. Wah, wah, wah. Somebody play the DJ horn. Akira in the house. Dun, 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 dun. Dan Reardon, can I get the Jerry glow stick dancing guy, please? I feel like it's appropriate right now. Listen, Akira is an equal opportunity threat actor. They're all up about like using whatever they have at their disposal to attack businesses. As we just covered in an earlier story, they're the number 5. Where is it? They're number 5, right? They're on the podium. $250 million, right? Dude, they're straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
That's it. Thank you very much, Dan Reardon. Dan, like, a double shot of Akira. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like this is like, woo! Double shot! Akira, baby! Friday's getting crazy up in here. DJ Chaos on the 1 and 2s. Whatever, guys. If you're running Nutanix, Akira's coming after you. As I mentioned earlier, without spending more time on this one, if you have an immature cyber program, do the basics, do the best practices, do those level 1 CIS 18 implementation guidance 1 things. Don't sweat Akira. Obviously, make sure that you're patching all your things. Make sure you're reducing risk. Make sure you're doing all the things that you're supposed to do. You gotta patch it. I will tell you one great thing about Akira ransomware is that they are an equal opportunity threat actor. So if you're reasonably secure, they're going to move on to the next target. They're not interested in you specifically. I know you feel special. They don't care about you. They care about making quick cash and getting paid. So if they're going to rob the houses in your neighborhood like the wet bandits in Home Alone, drink, they're going to basically... Actually, they're not like the wet bandits because friggin' Marv and Harry, or what was his name? Marvin, what was Joe Pesci character's name? The Joe Pesci character, he's like, oh, this is my white whale. I've been studying this house, the best house on the street. That's not what Akira does. Akira basically walks up to your door. Is your door unlocked? Yes or no? If it's unlocked, they walk in and rob you. If it's locked, Harry! Daniel Stern was so good in that. They're going to, if your door's locked, they're going to go to the next house. If the door's locked, they go to the next house. The door's unlocked, they rob you, they go to the next house. So just put in fundamental cyber. And again, I'm not saying fundamentals are going to keep Akira from kicking in your door, but all I'm saying is add some hurdles, make it hard, and your chances of getting impacted are lower. Okay. How are we doing on time? 8:55. I can do this. Wait, oh shit. Shoot.
Operation Endgame. Police reveal takedowns of 3 key cybercrime tools. Authorities from numerous European countries, along with Canada, the US, and the UK, have announced that the takedown affects the Radamanthus infostealer, the Venom Rat remote access Trojan, and the Elysium botnet. This third phase of Operation Endgame, which started in 2024, focused on these tools, which the authorities say have been responsible for infecting hundreds of thousands of victims worldwide with malware. This action also coincides with the recent arrest in Greece of the main suspect behind the Venom Rat. Washington Post confirms data stolen from its...
Hold on. We got. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Regulators, mount up.
This is like what's going on in my mind when I hear Operation Endgame moves into the third phase, an international law enforcement coordination. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get some of this all day, every day. Come on. Oh shoot, hold on. All right, guys. So Operation Endgame was this massive coordinated takedown. Love the name. Obviously, this hasn't happened in a while, but like I love vulnerabilities that get logos. I love, operations, law enforcement operations that have cool names. I'm a sucker for it. Okay, it's like infographics. Largest ever operation against botnets. Let's see. It started November 10th. Not a bad day. Marine Corps birthday. Takedowns responsible for infecting. Dude, just think about have you ever tried to coordinate like a party with a couple people? You ever tried to like organize something at work, and how much of a nightmare it is dealing with like John and Carol because they don't like each other because of the holiday party 4 years ago? You know what I'm talking about? Imagine that you're trying to coordinate with other countries' law enforcement: Australia, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Greece, Lithuania, Netherlands, United Kingdom, United States. Dude, that's a lot of chefs in the kitchen, okay? Yet we're able to get it together, and they're arresting tons of people. 11 locations raided. That's coordinated takedowns, man. Across multiple time zones, 1,000 servers seized. Like, I love it, dude. I'm signed up all day, every day. I wish this was like, you know how NASA has a channel that's just like showing random crap all the time, like a feed into the International Space Station? I know they won't do this, but I want like a feed. I want a Europol channel where or an Interpol channel. I can just like log in and be like, yeah, show me some takedowns, baby. Let's hear the comms over the walkie-talkie. I love this, guys. I'll just leave you with this. There's only way that we start winning the war on financially motivated, organized cybercrime is by taking out the infrastructure and the people behind it. This isn't like, 1950s mafia in Las Vegas where like you can take down some of the like the trucks or the operation and you can kind of dismantle it. It's software. They can copy and paste it. It's software. They can spin up new VMs, right? Like it's you got to get the humans who have the knowledge on how to execute these criminal enterprises. And that's what we're doing. I love it. I'm absolutely pants off, all in on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And as I've mentioned in the past, I strongly believe that in 2026, we will see a Shiny Hunters, Lapsus, Scattered Spider, that like super group that they're forming, the audio slave of young ransomware threat actors. I think law enforcement's going to giddy up on that one. All right, let's go. By the way, audio slave. Oh, so good. So good. I don't know if that references a drink, but I will say Soundgarden, Chris Cornell. Basically anything Chris Cornell touched was pretty awesome.
Environment. This act of data theft and extortion was performed on the media company's Oracle e-business suite, compromising human resources data on nearly 10,000 current and former employees and contractors.
Bro.
The Post said it confirmed that the September 29th attack resulted in the theft of personal information on 9,720 people, including names, bank account numbers and routing numbers, and social security numbers. The Klopp gang is believed to be behind this attack.
Oh, yeah. Believed?
Have you set a calendar?
I'm pretty sure Klopp ransomware gang is like straight up said, like, it's us. Like, over here. Like, send the money to us. We're the ones who did it. Guys. Washington Post was contacted on September 29th by the threat actors claiming that they had breached them. And the attacker had access from July 10th to August 22nd. Okay, so this was before the Oracle EBS vulnerability disclosure came out. So we can, but we shouldn't make fun of Washington Post for not patching it. You gotta patch it. Again, this sucks. This is why you have to work through tabletop exercises. This is why we should be doing cyber resiliency, not just cybersecurity. This is why you have to stay current. So you know, basically you can be aware of these things. But as I mentioned before, yesterday, and what can only be argued as fanboying out on Klopp ransomware, in my opinion, Klopp ransomware is the, you know, I guess my speed. Like, they're organized, they're efficient, they don't waste cycles, they target big fish, and then they squeeze all the juice out of the lime or lemon that when they get one. They are the ones who did Move It. They are the ones who did Clio. They are the ones who are doing Oracle EBS, allegedly. Right? Akira ransomware, they spray, like, Akira ransomware is like that kid in Fortnite who's got like double guns and they're just like, right? Klopp ransomware is the guy up on the mountain with the sniper rifle who's like, wait it, hold, ding, win. Like that's what's up, okay? You got to be mindful of those people that are more calculated and deliberate and methodical in their action, which is why I've ordered a Klopp ransomware poster for my bedroom. It's coming on Tuesday. Thanks, Amazon.
I'm joking. I don't have one.
Okay. All right, let's keep cooking. If you're running Oracle EBS, please friggin' patch it. Okay. There we go. It's the fastest hour in cybersecurity. We just crushed it. Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief, episode 1006. Friday, November 14th. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because it's Jawjacking time. We got a panel because it's Friday. I'm going to introduce them in a hot minute. If you got to go, go on. Have a great day. If you're going to stay, hang out. Let's high five. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Or excuse me, I'm Dr. Gerald Auger from Simply Cyber. Let's go get Jerry Guy. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome to Jawjacking. I'm your host, Jerry Guy, 2 thumbs, all smiles. If you're coming from Daily Cyber Threat Brief, which I suspect you are, I hope you had a great show with that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Dude, calm down about your fanboying out for Klopp ransomware, you dork. All right, what are we doing here? You got questions, we got answers. On Fridays, we bring a panel in just so you can get even more awesome answers and experience from our esteemed professionals. I'm going to introduce them one at a time, kind of like I wish I had walk-on music like baseball players, but we don't. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him for making hot, piping fresh memes every day, usually mocking me or John Strand, but he dabbles. Ladies and gentlemen, SOC analyst, Haircut Fish.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
There we go, my man. It's good to see you, Dan. All right, sticking with the blue theme, you guys know him as San Diego's own Ladies and gentlemen, Wade Wells and his mustache.
What's up?
Good to see you, Wade. Thanks for getting up early this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm dead serious about San Diego having happy hours at 11 a.m.
That sounds pretty early, to tell you the truth. I don't know where you were at. Were you in PB? That sounds like a PB thing.
I don't know. I was stunned is what I was. And bringing in a little bit of red to the action, ladies and gentlemen, Monster Energy sponsored own Daniel Lowry.
Hi.
All right.
Everyone.
That's our panel right now. We might have Fleetus Poston join us. We may have Kathy Chambers join us. I did send the links out. But here's the deal, guys. If you have questions, drop them in chat, and the panel will answer. I'll try to stay out of the way as the best of my ability. And Wade, it's been a minute. How you been?
Tired.
Okay.
I got so much new stuff going on that I thought I was backing out of things, and then things just moved forward with other stuff. So it's
all right. A lot of vague generalities there, but Wade Wells is getting cooked on things. Hey, Wade, so let me ask you, while the questions start queuing up here, Akira, top 5 ransomware variant out. CISA releases tons of IOC stuff, sticks telemetry. As a detection engineer, when you see a story like that and these assets being provided, what's your initial reaction and first steps? Oh,
yeah,
speaking to the microphone too, Wade, if you could.
Let me make sure that the mic is the right one, because the restream is like new. Okay,
you can tap it.
Yeah, am I good? Well, I can hear myself. Anyways, the first thing so whenever I read an intel report, the first thing I do is scroll to the very bottom of the intel report to see what type of IOCs they're actually giving, or how they're reporting on the attack itself, right? Are they giving me MITRE ATT&CK TTPs? Are they just giving me IP addresses and hashes? Are there domains? Is there some type of like diamond model initiative down there? So that usually tells me the maturity of the report right away, because that usually at the end is where all that is. And then once I see, okay, they're actually reporting on good stuff, I'll go and read the report. From there, I'm usually trying to mirror the report's infrastructure to my own, and to think about which logs that I'm intaking that are going to be able to detect the same things, right? Marking down which attack TTPs are going, and then thinking about which detections I already have in play to detect this. And then, of course, trying to move forward. If you have any attack simulation software, usually I'm keying that up as I'm going to then simulate the attacks.
Awesome. Now, that's Wade Wells, detection engineer. Excellent information. And I love the nuance of looking at the end of the report so you can assess the quality of the overall report. Mm-hmm. Dan, you're actually working on SOC and responding to alerts and whatnot. With something like this, Akira ransomware coming out as a top 5, CISA releasing telemetry or indicators of compromise. Like, as the SOC, like, does your SOC manager say, hey, everybody, like, let's huddle up really quick. We've got this, like, kind of developing situation. Like, does this actually do anything in the SOC, or is it just business as usual?
It's business as usual, more or less. We take the news, and a lot of the times, as I'm sitting working, listening to the Daily Cyber Threat, if I hear something like that, I'll look up the article, try to find any of the TTPs, and just query some of them against clients, just to see if anything could be popping off, and start from there. And then occasionally I'll try and build those into, if I do discover anything, build them into different protections or what have you.
All right. Hey, really quick, I don't know if you can, check your microphone inputs or not. It sounds like you're underwater and speaking through a Pringles can.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
We'll get that. Daniel Lowry, good to see you, man. How you been?
Oh, good. Trying to stay busy, keeping myself. I got a new video coming out today. I'm doing the DC series, TTF Boot to Roots walkthrough, and yesterday I filmed it, and it was like an hour and a half long. I'm like, okay, this is a little long. We need to cut this down. So part 1 will release today, and I'll get part 2 next week.
I love it. Okay, so look for that for sure. So coming in with questions, how is cyber doing with AI Cold War? That's funny. Wade, you want to weigh in on AI Cold War and cyber? I mean, this is a super generic question.
Yeah, it is, but I like it. I'm trying to define what AI Cold War is. Like, is it China's AI versus our AI? Is it all the AIs competing, right? Honestly, like, dude, the more I'm getting into AI, the more I'm realizing how much of a game changer it's going to be. That's the scary part. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little scared for my job. I've recently been evaluating AI tools to enrich my SOC, and they are pretty cool. Like, I haven't plugged them in yet, but I'm pretty excited for them. And then I am an active user of AI. I think it's going strong. Hopefully, hopefully some crazy intelligence doesn't spin up and kill us all. That's what my thoughts.
Okay, I agree. Well, you know, the thing is too, it's like, I don't know, without getting too deep into it, I mean, like, we train it, right? So
Yeah. I've read Project 2027, so I'm not.
oh yeah, don't do that. Yeah, that's...
I don't think it's gonna go that far. I don't think it's going that quickly, right? The compute is like, they're having to build nuclear power plants in order to power these data centers, right?
Yeah.
And there's only so much data they can give it. They've literally like given it all the data, and it's like, oh well, we can't do anything. I think we're reaching the limits. I don't think we're gonna go much further, but if we do, I have no clue. Like, hopefully we survive it.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden that Matrix human battery farm seems like not that crazy a concept. All right. Hey, Dan Reardon, I'm not sure if you got your mic fixed, but Amish Brain and myself want to know where the name Haircut Fish came from.
Okay, we'll see. Does it sound better?
No, but that's okay. What's your
Okay.
where did the name come from?
So back in high school, I literally was trying to think up of just a username or a gamer tag or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'm in the mood for Long John Silver's, and I'm walking into my mall, which has a haircut place right by the entrance, and I come up with Haircut Fish, and that's literally how I came up with it, and I've used it for so many different things, from writing on my skateboards to I had an idea in one of the classes. We had to come up with a business idea, and so it was like FYE meets GameStop, but it was called Haircut Fish. Teacher hated the idea; he hated the name, but I kept with it. So
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, thank you. So random. We have another panelist joining us, ladies and gentlemen. You may know her from the Kathy Chambers Media Discord server that is popping off right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Chambers.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, thank you, everybody who's joined. Like, that was fast. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It sounds like Haircut Fish is going to need to use your services. So
awesome.
Exactly. I love it. I love it.
I got to thank Daniel Lowry. I dropped everything in his server last night. So sorry, Daniel. I kind of took over his Discord. I was like, come to my Discord.
That's what it's there for, right? Like,
hey, everybody, grab your stuff and come on with me.
Yeah, come with me instead.
I'm like, where did all my Discord users go?
Roswell UK has a question, Daniel. How do you know if a pen test was thorough enough, right? How do you know if you missed something, or there's a threat actor in there or something like that? How do you know if a pen test is thorough enough?
I mean, the problem with pen tests is the amount of time that you have to execute them, right? So you're probably going to miss things, and that's why you get E&O insurance, right? So, the idea that you would be able to thoroughly vet any of your clients within a week, 2-3 days, depending on the type of engagement that you're working on, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, even then, right? It's never going to happen. So you just do the best you can. You look for everything you can find, and you write it up with as many mitigations and strategies to help them as you can. That's really the purpose of a pen test, is to like help us know where any vulnerability exists and give me a risk assessment of that threat, of that vulnerability, so that we can do something about it, and in some sort of logical order. So if you're coming in and going, we're going to find every single solitary problem in this network, you're setting the expectation for your clients way too high. I always live by the mantra: under promise and over deliver every time.
Yes.
Right. So you tell them we are going to do our level best to find everything that we can, and most likely that we will not be able to discover everything. And your client accepts that, right? That's just a part of the game. really a lot of clients just want to get a checkbox, right? Hey, we did our pen test this year. Check. Sweet. You know what's funny is I was actually on another podcast the other day. We were talking about the compliance checkbox and why security is still a bit of a dumpster fire, and that we don't get a lot of buy-in from the C-levels. And I said, do you think that if the checkbox of vulnerability assessment and risk management and penetration testing, if those got removed from their list of checkboxes, do you think anyone would care? And the answer has been, in my experience, probably not. They'd be like, cool, one less thing. Like, the people that are running the business don't really care. They just know that they have to because it's regulated or it's a policy or whatever. And to some extent, they're like, yeah, we need security, but it's a big giant cost center. It just cost me a bunch of money. And they don't see the value until it's like, hey, we can prove that we just spared ourselves from a horrible, horrible data breach and tons of money lost through ransomware or XYZ. That's when they go, oh, this isn't bad. So the real difficulty is getting the buy-in from the C-levels to like really take advantage of the fact that they need a pen test and that you're giving them information that can be extremely helpful for them to stay out of those weeds. That's really where you want to go with it. Is not that you're going to find everything, but the things that you do find, they can mitigate. They have strategies. You can do something about it and then stay out of hot water.
Yeah, 100%. To me, like, think about like going fishing. You just want to go fish and throw a line in the water, right? But you're required to get a fishing license. Oh, you would never go get one unless you had to go get one. It's kind of the same thing. Like, that's why compliance is a great lever for GRC people to pull in order to get funding and stuff like that. You're like, oh, SOC 2 compliance, or there's some business initiative, right? Like, a lot of tech companies want SOC 2 because they don't look appealing as an acquisition until they're SOC 2 compliant. All right, a couple more questions. I assume you're talking about me. I met my wife at our first job. I started on like Monday. She started on Tuesday. They walked her around. I was acting like I had been there forever. But when I've told the story 1,000 times and people don't believe me. The second I saw my wife, I knew I was going to marry her. Like, I was immediately like, that's her. You know, she hadn't even spoke yet. And which worked out really well, because it would have been horrible to have like a restraining order and a lifetime of misery if she was like, what are you doing, you psychopath? So that worked out really well. She's still here. So that, there you go. Let's see. All right. So question for Kathy Chambers. And I'm gonna manipulate this question a little bit. Sean Saylor says, when you have a million things that need to be done and implemented and controlled, getting things done without overwhelming IT or other departments, how do you prioritize and collaborate with other people, Kathy, without just sending them? Because not everybody works as hard as Kathy Chambers, right? So not everybody can take a list of 600 action items and execute on it. What's your strategy here for Sean?
I think it's important to remember first of all, you got to get to know who you're working with. I can very quickly, probably within a couple of days, tell what kind of person I'm working with. Like, do they work fast? Do they have to prioritize where they can only do one thing at a time? Not everybody is a multitasker. These are things that I've just learned along the years that not everybody does. I mean, I don't mean to sound like an ass, but not everybody works like me, right? Not everybody is like doing 15 different things. They like to do one thing at a time. And then when that is done, then they move on to the next one, which is great in these kind of departments. So I think you have to realize what everybody else is working on. And I know that's kind of a pain. So you're like, what are they already working on? And if I send them this, is this going to pile on? And can it wait a day? Does it have to be done right now? So a lot of it's just getting to know who you're working with and getting to know what else is in their life. Because a big pet peeve of mine when I was a project manager is more projects when I'm already in a bunch of other projects. Like, I physically cannot take on any more projects. There is not enough hours in the day. So I would say just getting to know what they're already working on before you give them more work, and you pace it out for them, because some people can't do that either. I know that sounds like a pain in the ass, but you're like creating their pacing for them so that they don't get burned out and everybody just quits.
Haircut Fish. I know working in a SOC, you have to throw work to IT at other organizations. You have to throw, reporting to management and stuff. How do you approach this, kind of not overwhelming people because they don't operate as fast and as efficient as you?
So I try and give as much information as I can. That way, you're kind of not relying on them to find it, and you're taking some of the burden off them. If you can search for it, provide the information up front, it will go smoother and potentially quicker in the end. And so typically I'm trying to get as much information as I can before having to reach out to anyone. Um, and that's just my whole mindset of being afraid I don't know enough. Even though I know I'm not going to know everything, I just mentally I'm like, hey, I gotta be completely prepared before I reach out to somebody. And they're just like, well, it's right here. Why didn't you just go there before coming to me? And so,
Yeah. Yeah. You got to not spoon feed people, but make it as easy as possible for them to ingest and take action. That's what I would say on that. Really quick update. This is for everybody. Abimbola Akinrelli wants to know the CPE certs for Simply CyberCon. So if you attended Simply CyberCon live, like Daniel Lowry, like Kathy Chambers, or virtually like Wade Wells and Dan Reardon, right? You are entitled to CPEs. And the good news is that you will be getting an email tonight, I believe, no later than tonight. Yeah. Everyone will be emailed by end of day today with info on how to get your certificate for download. Okay. So definitely looks really, Kimberly can fix it. It was is handling it. So obviously it's going to look wicked awesome. And you had to have registered. If you just showed up as a random, obviously we can't send you CPEs because we don't know that you were there or not. All right. All right. Thank you. Definitely exciting. And Simply CyberCon 2026, we've got dates. I'm inking the contract with the venue today. What? Getting in front of it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
New venue.
You better
New
sign
place.
a better contract this year, all right? Yeah, you better read that fine print about
attrition
and 20% in hotel rooms. No.
Yeah, no, it's good. If the panel would allow me, I'd love to just give a little Cyber 2026 update.
Let's
Simply
do it.
CyberCon. All right, so check it out. This is what's up. Simply CyberCon 2026. I've said always that Wild West Hackin' Fest inspires me. The way that the vibe is, and everybody that's on this panel has been to Wild West Hackin' Fest and knows what's up. So what we're going to do is in 2026, it's put it in pencil right now. Like I said, I'm going to get the contract today, but November 8th and 9th, which would be Sunday and Monday, which is the day right after B-Sides Charleston. So you could have a weekend cyber activities. But we're going to go to Folly Beach, which is like San Diego light. Okay, Wade? So, you know,
all right.
All right. And it's basically going to be a lot like Deadwood, where we got the hotel right dead center at the end of the one road that goes into Folly. And then there's like a bunch of restaurants and bars and stuff like that right outside of that in like a little kind of four corners type thing. And it's going to be the off season. So yes, it's going to be the off season. So it won't be that busy. And we collectively, I think we can take up to 120 people. We'll kind of take it over. Now, one of the cool things about Simply CyberCon, in addition to what I just said, is the format's going to be a little changed. We're going to break it up into 3 phases across the 2 days. So phase 1 on both Sunday and Monday is going to be your traditional talk tracks, keynotes, these type of things. Then we're going to break for lunch. Second phase kicks in. Right now, this one's still kind of under draft, but I think what we're going to do is workshops. So like 1 or 2 hour workshops. Like I'll do a workshop and teach you how to I don't know, start a YouTube channel, or how to do public speaking, or I'll give you some skill. James O'Quigan's been really excited about this too. So I'm thinking like little workshop sessions, practical sessions. Then we stop for dinner. And then it's phase 3 where we just rip the lid off. And this is where the activity sessions start going. Magic the Gathering tournament, open mic night, bard trivia, tattoo artist, food trucks. Like I don't even know what it's going to be right now, but it's going to be
What type of
lit.
tattoos are we talking? Are we talking about like real tattoos? Are we all going to get Simply Cyber tattoos by the end of the night?
So not every activity will make it to the final.
Okay. All right.
Okay, but there was talk of a tattoo artist, and I'm talking like legit. You have permanent ink on your body for life.
So my question is it going to be like a reality show where they're fighting off to find out which activity is going to make it to the finals in Too Simply CyberCon?
Oh, we could turn it into that. Tune in next week for round 3 of activities. No, it is pretty cool. I'm very excited. Like obviously Tyler Ramsby and Joe Hudson will have a rap battle. That will happen.
Obviously,
yeah. So yeah, just stay tuned for it. I'm super. Code Brew, come on, tramp stamps for everyone. Like let's.
I was thinking the loser of the Magic tournament has to get something, obviously.
Oh,
right?
obviously.
You're going to have to do a loser's bracket.
I'm thinking neck tattoos, right? Nice.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the talks in the morning and us just all hanging out in the afternoon. I think that's really cool because 1, that means we get to socialize more. You know me, I like to talk to everybody. And 2, we can support more talks. It was really hard to like jump different tracks and try to support people's talks and still want to go outside and talk to everybody. So now we can support each other and go to the talks and support everyone. And then in the afternoon we can all hang out. So I'm excited about it.
And I'm thinking with the workshop, since it's like kind of a bulk window of workshop, like you're either going to want to go to the workshop or not. I feel like by doing it that way, people will, do what Kathy's saying. It's like, oh, I'm not interested in a YouTube channel. So like, I'm going to hang out in the chill out room. And we had a chill out room as a third venue. Virtual people wouldn't know that because we didn't televise that. But
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's super fun. I don't know what
it on that one, Jerry.
I know. Well, I can't think of pushing FOMO harder than having the live feed of the chill out room and people hanging out.
Point. You should have got like a robot that I could like drive around the chill out room and tell people to stop saying thrunting.
Robert Hendricks.
You could have had that stream and then like the old DVD things, just have FOMO kind of bounce around the screen.
All right, getting into questions here. What is scope creep? Now, Amish Brain's asking Robert Hendrickson, but I'll let, I guess, Kathy, you want to explain scope creep?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. So scope creep is where...
You guys all know? Am I the only one on the panel that doesn't know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will take what scope
creep
is.
Okay, go ahead.
Scope creep is someone telling me to bring in 1 log source, and the next thing you know, I'm bringing in 10. That's what scope... It's when you have a project... And it's just this little thing, and then they're like, you know what? Let's add this on. You know what? This function.
Oh God, that sounds like all my past
jobs. You
jobs.
want this over here? Oh my God, that's happened to me so many times.
That's like my life.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. Scope creep's
I didn't know it had a name. Now I can just name it.
Yeah, it like the equivalent for people who, if you like analogies, it's like asking someone to mow your lawn. Like, and they're like, sure, I'll mow your lawn. And then they're like, the homeowner comes out and they're like, hey, while you're out there, can you trim my bushes and my hedges and, like paint my fence? And, you're like, wait, what? So that is scope creep. And it's a real thing that you have to manage.
I had someone ask me to move a bed. And then when I got there, it was move an entire room. Ooh. And I was like, and take apart their bed. I was like, you scope creeped me hard.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, like for that one, the compensation's gonna scope creep too.
It sounds like a Discord handle or something, like the name.
That is good.
So, when starting a pen test, what's the best way to prevent scope creep? Now that we've defined it, Daniel Lowry, you wanna take this one as our resident pen tester?
Man, preventing scope creep is a real art. That is for sure. And this is where I came up with the whole under promise and over deliver, right? If you already kind of go in there understanding that scope creep is going to happen and you set the expectations to be here that, oh man, just don't know if we're going to be able to get that. Here's what ends up happening. I don't know that you can prevent it, honestly, because there's always like some, oh, by the way, that comes up. And it is important enough that you have to go, well, yeah, no, that makes sense. And that's why this happens, is because you're like, yeah, we have to do that. Doing your best to try to like understand the entire landscape of whatever project it is you're trying to do, whether that be a pen test, whether it be a SOC project, whether it be whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Mowing the lawn. If you go in with a really good game plan, that's going to minimize the Mickey Mouse when it comes to scope creep. Right, because where all the little weird things are, and if you're if you're internally kind of like preparing for that, then when that comes up, you're like, yeah, I got this, dog, no problem, right? And then you perform, and people are like, this person is amazing. Like we used to do. So when I had my first job, this is where I really learned how to perfect this art. My first job as an IT worker, I worked on a workstation support, right? And this tells you how long ago it was. It was upgrading a hospital to Y2K compliance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dog, right? Just
Tell
let
me
the
you're old
nostalgia.
without telling me you're old.
There you go, right? So they were buying like pallets of new computers because it was a large hospital. Kathy knows this hospital. It's in Gainesville. And not only that, their administrative building, everything. Anyway, so they would get like 200 computers in and go, hey, can we get this done by 3 weeks? And I would go, 3 weeks, that's a large order, man. I know in my mind I could get it done in a week and a half. So I'm like, you know what? For you, we're really going to buckle down. We're really going to try. We're going to work on this. And knowing that gave me the ability to work in the fact that scope creep is probably going to happen and things are going to stop us. So I would say, hey, yeah, I think I can get it done in 3 weeks, planning on getting it done in a week and a half. And then the cool thing that happens there is if I get it done in the week and a half, I am a superhero. They think that I am amazing, right? And if I get it done in 3 weeks, they still think I'm amazing because I hit the term, right? I hit the scope. Oh, yeah, we nailed it. You got it done. I can't believe it. You really worked hard. Thank you so much. We got raises all the time because of this. I mean, we were all hourly workers, but because we were implementing this strategy, because anytime that the bosses would come in and go, hey, this is what we need you to do, we would go, if we thought 3 weeks was not enough, we would go, that's a real stretch because maybe we thought we could get it done in 2.5 weeks, and 3 weeks wouldn't be enough to allow for the scope creep to come in. So we would go, can we get 3.5 weeks? 3.5 weeks. I think we could really nail this, and we're going to work hard. We're going to make it happen. We're going to try to get it done in 3, but let's set the meter for 3.5 weeks. And then we would get it done in 2.5. And they would be like, you guys are just, I can't believe how well, once you get firing, you're on all cylinders. And they just thought we were literal superheroes that were just giving our lives to the job. We're in there like downloading music from Napster or whatever and burning DVDs because we had a good system. We knew how long it would take. And if scope creep came in, we had budgeted time for it that our betters, our superiors did not understand that we were doing that. So that's how I deal with scope creep. Not that I can stop it, but I can plan for it and make it look like that was just part of the show.
I love it. Kathy, what do you think about it?
Yeah, so this is along the same lines, but I was talking to Mike Saunders yesterday, and yeah, I'm going to name drop. Love me some Mike Saunders from Red Siege. We were talking about pen testing firms and starting pen testing firms. And a couple of pieces of advice he had is, one, the client, this isn't you like pen testing for a company. This is owning your own pen testing company. One, the client they're not always right. They think they know what they need, but they don't know what they need. So number one is maybe you have to go in and say, listen, I know you listed all this, but this is not what you need. This is what you need. That helps you define your scope and to stay within the scope. And second, don't be afraid to say no. Like if it's something that your company doesn't handle, or you don't want to do it, or the client doesn't need it, it's like unnecessary. Don't be afraid to say no or take less just to get that first job. Or so, I mean, I guess the moral of the story is like you need to embrace it and you define the scope sometimes because the client's not always right. And I know like we grow up thinking that, right? Like I'm from retail. Like, so in the whole retail, the client's always right. The client's always right. But in this case, you're the expert and you can control that scope.
One other thing I want to point out, because we're talking about pen testing and that, but because this has happened to me personally my whole career. You can get scope creeped on your job, right? So people are like, hey, like you're hired to work in the SOC, right? Like Dan Reardon, okay, he's a SOC analyst, right? And then Dan's just killing it. And they're like, hey, Dan, like we got a couple new hires coming in next week. Like in addition to your job, can you let them job shadow you? Sure, no problem, right? And then it's like, hey, Dan, you did so great with those new recruits. Like we've got a whole class coming in next week. Can you run the orientation? And then all of a sudden you're like the SOC trainer and doing your SOC job. And businesses will just dump responsibility on you as long as you keep taking it, and it can lead to burnout, right? Or worse. I've been promoted, and literally, oh, congratulations on the new job, Jerry. I'm like, awesome. Who's doing my old job? I'm just curious. And they're like, oh, we're going to hire someone like 6 months max. Okay. So then like 2 years later, 3 years later, I got promoted again. And I'm like, hey, you know what's hilarious? Who's going to do my job and my other job that I've been doing for 3 years? And like, don't worry about it. We got you. And then like maybe 2 years later, I quit because I was like, I'm dying. I'm literally dying.
I hate that. Like, it's happened to me so many times. It's almost like you are getting punished for being such a rock star. It's like, you're a rock star, so we're going to give you more work. Like, it's almost like it's my fault. Like, so do I go into a job and I'm like, I'm going to let them know my limitations.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to pretend I don't know more, because if so, I get more work. And you should never have to work like that. You should never.
Well, maybe that's why it's like turnover culture, right? Like where
100%,
people only go 1-2 years at a job and then they bounce to something else because they know it's just going to keep piling up. They're not going to give you enough money to really pay you for all the work that you're doing. So to get more money and get less work, you got to jump ship to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I want to weigh in on this definitely, because in past jobs that were not even cyber related, I ended up, I would be like a yes man. I would, hey, can you do this? Yeah, I can do that. And I would just keep doing and adding on. And then as returns were starting to diminish because I was given way too much, I would be getting in trouble because, hey, you did all this already. Why can't you keep up with that? Like that. And so you end up getting punished for trying to help out. And so in recent years, I have learned to lay stuff out up front, especially like job interviews, the last couple. Hey, we're hiring for support. Okay, that's great. I don't plan on being in support forever. This is what I plan on doing. And I got hired at that job. And then in my most recent, I said, yes, I love to be in the SOC. I want to do SOC work, but this is where I want to be. This is my goal. I want to be detection engineering. Okay, cool. We'll see what we can do to get you to that point. So.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Wade's comment. I said some of us have problems saying yes too much, and Wade's like, I don't. Like, I say no all the time.
Nah. I've earned my status as like a staff level engineer, where people come with projects. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'd rather do some of this other project. Like,
you're like, I'm sorry, why am I in this meeting?
that. And then I'd be like, this isn't even for me. And then I'm yelling at someone, being like, just give him the rights or something like that. It's playing the bad guy's fun. I will admit that, but it's not too bad.
Wade Wells has stayed long enough to turn into the villain. All right, got it. Silence Poet asks, is there going to be CPEs if you took training at Simply CyberCon? Yes, you will get a different certificate with CPEs for the training. Good question. Parm 14, which honestly makes me want there's like chicken parm sandwich at Frothy Beard Brewing. That's amazing. Hey guys, I finished my master's in May. I got 3 years of IT. Anyone recommend any certs or anything else to get into cyber? I spend most of my time on Hack the Box. All right, we can go around the horn. Each of us pick one little 10 seconds of advice for Parm. I would say Sec Plus. Just you're probably going to nail it automatically, but it's kind of a requirement because HR is going to use it to filter on. Kathy,
you took my answer. Yeah, Sec Plus, and it's just a really good place to start.
Yeah. Dan?
I'm going to go a different route since you guys said that. Since you have all this experience, what are you doing to show it off? Or do you have any blogs? Do you have anything publicly available to show off that you have these?
All right, there you go. Portfolio, Wade?
Home lab.
Okay.
Try to show you have a passion, and then be able to demonstrate what you created, or at least talk about it.
I like it. Daniel?
Well, I mean, if you're strictly speaking of certs, obviously Sec Plus is a great one to go with. Everybody knows it's everywhere. I do like the Google security certification as well. And if I'm not mistaken, there's like, if you get that, there's something about them lowering the price or something to deal with going into Sec Plus after that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Should have to do a little investigation on that. But yeah, just if you're looking for a cert, then yeah, Sec Plus can't be beat. But then other than that, you got to do everything else like Wade and Dan were saying.
Yeah, and that's any industry. The whole show your work. That's what I'm working on right now. Like I kind of stepped out of media for a little while. And so like now I'm like, oh, I want to do this full time. And I can't show what I did, a few years ago because, looks like ass now compared to all the nicer cameras and the nicer editing and AI editing. And like, so now it's like, I'm kind of starting over, like, oh yeah, I can do this. And now I have to like have a whole portfolio now. So yeah, any industry, you're going to have to show your work.
I love it. So Wade said home lab. And hold on, Daniel, you got a boogie?
I got to go, man. It's time to get ready for that IRL business. You know how it go.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the panel, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Lowry, if you enjoyed his conversation and his look, his fit, he will be having a live stream very similar to this at 10 a.m. Eastern time, just 20 minutes from now. So if you're having a chill Friday, you can keep the train going, the party. This is Simply Cyber community and Simply Cyber adjacent, right? So it's all about good times here. Thanks, Daniel.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Wade, you mentioned home lab. Any good home lab test to run in a home lab for building SOC skills? He's got Waza and Sysmon running, pushing to Splunk.
That's it.
You're done.
Like if you can do all that and then you can like figure out how to get the data in there. I would recommend also like checking out like not Kubernetes. What's the thing above Kubernetes? Docker.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
imagine checking out Docker because I just set up Splunk servers all the time, and then I found Docker. It was a single command, and I would flip table. That type of stuff. Any other security stuff? EDR. I have like a Ubiquity home system. I have home firewalls that I use. My my actual home lab is blown up right now. You can see it right there. Like this black.
Hold on. Let's give you the stage. Go ahead.
This black box next to the box. That's actually a server. It's probably like a $3,000 server that currently doesn't power on for some reason. And I just don't have the time to figure it out. But luckily, I don't want to mess with it. What about you, Dan? What do you think?
Great answer. I think what you could end up doing is also generate the alerts, use something like Red Canary or Atomic Red Team. That's what I mean. Atomic Red Team, generate some alerts so that you can start kind of hunting those down and building up your querying skills or querying, however you want to say it. That's, I think, a giant part of what you're doing if you're starting out in the SOC. If you already have SOC experience and you're just trying to bolster what you have, start writing things that detect. Look up some of the new attacks going on. And one thing that I'm saying it now to kind of force myself to look into it is I've been wanting to look into Sigma rules and learning more about them. And it's a great format that is can be translated to multiple different querying languages. And so the repository of that they have for those is amazing. So it'd be something else you'd want to look into.
I love it. Thank you very much, guys. That's super valuable insights and information. Let's see. This is Simply CyberCon event. Silence Poet wants to run a poker, like probably a Texas Hold'em style. We can definitely do it. With the money, we may have to we might have to revisit that just because we don't want to run an illegal gambling event. But look into it. We don't have to have cash prizes, right? We can just everybody gets like something and have some fun with it, bragging rights, etc. Let's see. Tech Grunt actually asked this question. I've done research in the last 15 minutes because I'm super into it. Magic the Gathering for Simply CyberCon. Yes.
That would be legit.
Justin Gold has said that there is a whole vehicle for this, and since it's freaking fake cards and proxies, we're not going to play legally anyways. So we're definitely going to do this. I don't know what it looks like yet, but yes. Also, I want everyone to know, and please, I'd like honest feedback. You can be honest and tear me apart if you'd like. I am going to be making a video for Simply Cyber's YouTube channel that basically explains what Magic the Gathering is and how to play it, basically. Because I'm seeing a lot of people play it at conferences, including myself, and I feel like it's very intimidating if you don't understand what it is. And if you do understand what it is, it's like an amazing networking opportunity because you're basically sitting across from someone for like 15 minutes. You're talking to them, you're learning strategy, you're doing some fun stuff. It's super social. So anyways, I don't know if you guys have an opinion about that, but it's not going to teach you how to be great at Magic. It's just going to explain the mechanics of it. So Kathy Chambers can walk up and be like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I tried. I sat at the table for a while and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. Like,
I definitely want Wade's mustache to be an attachment of some sort.
Oh, all right. I like it. +2 and Shroud.
My beard. No, I multi-classing your channel. I like it. I definitely think it's something fun. Yeah, it's not cyber related, but when you're going to conferences half the time, like, yeah, you have the cyber talks, but a lot of the great conferences, all the good stuff's happening outside of those, where you're building those connections, you're meeting the people, you're hanging out, talking, and I'm seeing more and more like game spots occurring. When I went to B-Side Charm for the first time a few years ago, they literally have vintage video games, a whole big thing on that. And so, but yeah, I think it'd be fun. I'd be interested.
All right. I love it. Hey guys, I just realized we have programming going on right now. Wade Wells. We do an hour long when we don't have programming, but right now, James O'Quigan, episode 7 of his 8-episode series for Q4, Simply Secured, is premiering right now. I'm going to just show you what it looks like, right? He's talking to Christine Smoley from Philosophy to Cybersecurity, an Unexpected Path. So if you're looking to break in and you think that your background doesn't lend itself to getting into cybersecurity, I've got news for you. Anyone can make the transition, and Christine's going to help point that out. Also, this program itself, James O'Quigan does such a phenomenal job with this content. I friggin' love it. Obviously, I've got it on the channel. So we're going to head on over there. I want to say thank you to Wade Wells, both for being director and telling me that we have content running on the show, as well as being a panelist. Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, for everything that he always does. Kathy Chambers, obviously a critical part of the operation here. And all of you in chat, FedEx, Tech Grunt, Phil Stafford, Space Tacos, Amish Brain, Anita Sailors, Sean Sailors. Guys, it takes a village. I'm glad that we can do this. If you had your questions answered, I hope you got value from it. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. On behalf of the whole panel, thank you. And until next time, stay secure.
Bye, y'all.